This is an update on Tropical Storm Isaac. We've got a situation with the intensity still at 40-mile-per-hour winds 24 hours later here. We think what's going on here is we've got a good deal of wind shear going on the north side of the system, particularly on the Puerto Rico side, where the system, as you can see on the infrared satellite picture, is kind of not symmetrical. Most of the thunderstorm activity is on the southern side of the storm, but nevertheless it continues off towards the west-northwest, more westerly than west-northwest, because it is weaker. Weaker storms tend to head more west in a southerly route. Will this change the forecast track? Well, let's take a look. The forecast track has it still making landfall in Haiti, but that might be a little bit further south now, as well as in Cuba. And that shifts the forecast track further west up in Florida. In fact, we don't have a landfall on the Florida peninsula anymore. It actually, models take it up further west of the Florida peninsula. And once it gets up there, it could either target the Panhandle or just north of Tampa. Areas further west need to keep an eye on this too, because shifts further west will ultimately mean that areas further west on the Gulf Coast could be impacted. Possibly as far west as Alabama or Mississippi, so we need to keep a close eye on this. Models in time take the storm all the way up once it makes landfall just west of the Florida Peninsula or on the northern Florida Peninsula, take it all the way up the East Coast or up the Appalachians. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. If that happens, it could be a major flooding threat from the Gulf Coast all the way up into the northeast states. As far as wind shear, as I was talking about, it is encountering wind shear. There's some wind shear over by between Cuba and Haiti as well, and there's also wind shear up in the Gulf of Mexico, which should subside by the time the storm makes it up into the Gulf of Mexico. Now, as far as hurricane watches and warnings, we have a hurricane warning for Haiti, Southern Dominican Republic, tropical storm warnings from, say, Eastern Dominican Republic over to Puerto Rico and some of the northern and lesser Antilles. So that's what we've got here for this storm. It's weaker than expected. It's still expected to become a Category 1 hurricane some point between its travels between now and by the time it reaches Florida. But this is not a major hurricane at all. It could change once it gets up into the Gulf of Mexico, however, where sea surface temperatures are approaching the upper 80s to near 90. I'm meteorologist Mark Molnar. Thanks for watching. Check out us for the latest update from MeteoMark.com.